Okay, so got another character, got the walk cycle of this guy going.
This is illo time.
As well as the back of his head. You'll notice in the back of his head I put a wiggle expression on the joystick there, which controls a number of shape tweens, and so he kind of like randomly bobs his head. And then the walk cycle, I did something kind of interesting where the left to right is the feet moving through the different steps. So all the way to the left is the left foot forward, all the way to the right is the right foot forward. But then up and down stretches the distance of the character out or compresses the distance of the character. And so when I move that in a V shape back and forth, then what happens is he's got a little bounce in his step. And so you see him bounce. And then I did the head in a separate composition. So I did his head parented to the y-axis position of his head, parented to that controller, and then divided by 2, so that the distance that moves is halved and controls the vertical distance of the head. So anyway, just confusing stuff there. If you didn't follow that, that doesn't matter. I'm just kind of excited about being able to automate that type of stuff so I can control the entire walk cycle with one controller, which is kind of cool. And then his head turning back and forth is another controller. And then I wanted to talk about the eyes because somebody had mentioned the eyes, and so I wanted to show you how I did that. All right, so you can see here, this is the eye, right? And what I have is I just have a layer that I inked that's got some wobbly bits to it in the middle. And you can see as I play it that it kind of looks like water rippling around. There's 2 main ways that I did that. And so the first way that I did that was I added an effect called ripple, FX ripple, right? And you'll notice in this effect that you've got like the type, the center, the radius, the wave width, the wave speed, okay? So I put my wave speed at like 1, okay? And then you can control like how much through the width and the height, how much it affects things. But the trick that I did is in the center of the ripple, okay? So that's gonna move around like where that wave width and height originates from. What I did is down here in the center of the ripple, I added a wiggle expression that every 2 seconds or half a phase per second, right? It moves around on the X and Y axis 75 pixels. And so what happens is I have that going, but then in the middle here, I also have the center of the ripple, which I think I can, there we go. So you see how I can move this around, right? Or I can move it up and down. And as it moves, it changes where the effect is originating from. I'm just gonna undo those 2 things. But what happens is I add a wiggle expression to the position of that center ripple, and that center point wanders around within 75 pixels from that original source. And so that's how I got that effect. Let me show you kind of how it turned out here. So if we just kind of, I'm just gonna go here and just load that real fast. So you can kind of see through this little loop that it just kind of phases in and out. If I lengthen this a little bit, let's just lengthen it so we can kind of see it work over the course of time. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of see that if you watch really closely, you can kind of estimate like where the center point of that ripple effect is as it moves around. And then it's also moving through like the wave height and width phase. So anyway, so that's how I did that eye effect. I just wanted to explain that because some people asked. So that's that so far. And then this is where I am. So tonight I will be, so I've gotten all the stuff in black done. And then tonight I will be doing another character, starting the design for him that I need to finish by tomorrow night so I can rig it by the end of the week. So that's my progress over the last couple days. I'll see you guys in a few days. Yeah. Hit that thumbs up, do the other things, and check stuff out on Instagram because I'm showing a lot of stuff on Instagram. And yeah, I guess if you have any questions, leave them in the comments because it's cool and that helps me think of things to talk about in these videos. So if you see anything where you're like, what the crap, how did he do that? I'd love to explain it.
This is illo time.